Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Saturday night, but it's time for something new and fun. I'm gonna have fun. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. It's time for me to introduce someone new to the channel. Hello, Tall Squall. Welcome back. Welcome here.
Hello,
Not
how are
back
you?
yet.
I am so happy to hear you. And it's kind of welcome back to playing on channels. It's been a while since I've been outside of the DM chair in a long form campaign. I'm thrilled and excited and super inspired to jump right into this. Uh, that's
I
that's all I have to say.
I am very glad that you were excited. I will not lie. Discussions have been very exciting. I've been very happy. Welcome, all of our friends. Welcome to those watching here on Twitch or those who will be watching later on VOD on YouTube. We appreciate you no matter where you are. For those of you who are new to this channel, you will notice that with your channel points, and it's activated, right? Um, yes, it is. You'll notice something called the Gifts of Velthaprini. It is luck for this wonderful crew, and they get a total of 10 luck for the entire session, each session, for them to share. Each person in chat may gift using channel points, which Hawkeye just did for you,
Thank you very much.
one luck for as is needed. We'll see how that goes. We may or may not need them today. Today we are introducing and meeting new people and new characters in a new story. This is a song of Agapia's fortune, but it's not the only one. There are many songs and stories and tales. People throughout the known world, well, at least this known world, have been telling stories for millennia. And today we're going to introduce and meet two of the characters that will be telling a new verse in this song, in this world, in this story. We're going to start, as we should always start. Well, as all good stories start. Once upon a time, in the land, well, of a southern area of an empire known as Varum, on a continent known as Endios, on a world known as Agapia, with a individual named Thorn the Hedgehog. What does Thorn look like?
Well, Thorn is young. Uh, he is appears to be only 18 or 19 years old. He is athletic, but leanly so. Obviously, there is strength within him, but sort of more whipcord strength than bulk or brute force that you might see in others around this region. Um, he has a perfectly unruly mop of long hair that always seems to have some twig or piece of grass or perhaps even a flower blossom from the orchards of the region that have somehow gotten caught up in it. And uh, it doesn't look as though it's messy or in some way unclean. It almost just sort of looks like accessories that others might, have spent in castles and keeps hours to have perfectly placed. They just seem to sort of naturally fall in this sort of mane of thick hair that he has. He is a worker. He moves from farm to farm, orchard to orchard in the region of Giardia, and you would find him on most any day in just sort of canvas pantaloons, well worn work boots, a thick leather work belt, and a sort of lighter colored, uh, almost blousey type natural cotton or canvas shirt. At his waist, there would be a sickle on one side and a hammer, a little ball peen hammer on the other, tools of his trade. And he is a migrant worker for the most part, or most people know him as such, as he travels from harvest to harvest, from springtime planting to springtime planting throughout this region, this southern duchy that is undecided in its future, I would say, at this point.
Undecided is a very good term. Complicated, struggling, tumultuous. Many adjectives have been thrown at this southern duchy of Verum, a place once known as the Kingdom of Giardin. But it is different. And none of those adjectives that have been thrown at it really do it justice. It's home to people. And anywhere there are people, there are stories and songs. People who want to do good, people who don't. People who don't have a care for anything, and people who care a whole lot. Where does Thorn fall? Does he care?
He does. He has a sense inside of him of good that he has tried to preserve throughout his life. He's tried to hold on to the times from his youth, his younger days. I mean, he being as young as he appears. He tries to hold on to that as he travels from place to place.
You travel through this land. It's rolling hills and forests. It's open plains and vineyards and orchards. It's pretty seasonably temperate most days. There are, of course, the rotations of the seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now it's summer. Well, later summer. Eat. The day is catching up with you. Hasn't been much to do beyond the general work that you would take in. What does Thorn do when it's just him in a moment of quiet and relaxation?
At this time of year, as the blooms of spring and early summer have already come and fallen, and now sort of the fruits of the season have not quite ripened, but have begun to form on branch and stem and vine. You'd probably find him in one of the orchards that he had worked in, or was preparing to work in, or hoped to soon work in, sort of propped up in the crook of a tree, just looking to the sky, looking up through the branches, feeling the heat, but probably also trying to catch an errant breeze on the wind, a hint of the fall, that breath of chill that signals the coming of the harvest, the coming of fall, the change of the season. But on this day, buzzing of insects around his ears, the smell of sort of dry grass wafting up, he would just be quiet, lazing in an orchard tree.
Large, well-spread oak, kind you look at across a field, and it doesn't matter. Everyone is 10 years old again, kicking off their shoes and jumping for that lowest branch, knowing that it'll hold your weight. Reaches high in the sky. Touches. Place where heaven and earth are all bound together and connected. The ground. The world is at peace. At least it seems that way. It's quiet. It's enough of the locals near this small hamlet that you're outside of, nearby, one of the villages of the Elfrin halflings of southern Varum. Maybe a week's travel? Well, not quite a week. I can do math, can't I? Maybe about a couple days travel. It's 300 miles from where you are to the capital of this territory, this province, in Offerentor. So that's, good 5 days travel, maybe. Depending on how strident you want to be there. And in this moment, I would like to ask for the first roll of the game with a perception check.
Sure.
As you are calm and at peace, and for
27.
27. That is a wonderful first roll. Perhaps it might even go well. As you're lazing under this tree with your eyes closed, just kind of being in this moment and in this nature, you have that twitch in your nose that you can smell. Something's burning. And it's not the smell of burnt grass that you associate with, high summer and burning the grass around the base of the orchard, or the clippings of hay or something like that. No, it's something more manufactured. Has that tinge of, when you burn silk, you just feel it smolder in your senses. Not quite as bad as plastics or anything like that, which there aren't any currently on this entire continent or in this world, so we don't have to worry about it. But it does smell of like burnt wool and silk.
That smell would rouse him from where he was, and he would sort of look into the wind, wherever the smell was coming from. His hair sort of waving out behind him a little bit. It's not a huge breeze. It's not, full-blown Superman epicness, cape epicness happening. But a slight ruffling of his hair, some grass probably still in it, and would look in the direction upwind to see if he sees smoke or what might be the origin of this smell.
It's a little ways out, but with a 27, you can see it. Thin plume of black smoke rising just above the edge of the trees. You can smell, now that you focus on it and see it, it's It's not heavy. Not like a village burning. Township. But something's burning.
Talon would think, Thorn would think it's still worth investigating. He would be curious about what it might be, but also wary, because in this land that hasn't quite decided what it's going to be yet, there is as much bad as there is good. And he would worry that this is foretelling of something to come.
It's... Well, if you get up, make your way towards the site of this plume of smoke, you realize it's maybe a couple 100 yards out, based on your own judgment of distance and land. You've been here a while, right? This territory.
Yes, and certainly this portion, he would have probably been here for spring planting in this very local region. So now that it's late summer, certainly has familiarity, and perhaps previous seasons as well.
Yeah. So you've been here before for a long time. You can gauge distances and know exactly how far something is. Know that it will take you, well, I don't know exactly how long would it take you to run. About 3,000 yards.
Thorn is quick. He is light on his feet and very familiar with the ways of
Excuse me,
nature.
300 yards, not 3,000. Did I say 3,000 yards?
Yeah.
No, you're not running through. You're not running a mile. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, 300 yards, he would close it rapidly. And not being in a panic, not sensing that it is a whole village burning, that it might be someone who has smoldered something on their campfire. It could be someone who foolishly tried to dry their clothes too quick and hung them too close to an open flame. So I think there's a little bit of boyish glee as he closes that distance and as Thorn approaches whatever it is that it's burning.
You break the tree cover of the orchard, and you can see not far from the orchard, just down the hill from the house, well, the current landowner's house. You're not sure if he's a noble officially, but he's the one who's paying the bills at the moment and hiring out. Seems to try to take care of the people under his protection. But you can see that just below his house at the bottom of the rise, a number of figures throwing things into a larger, well, probably one of the small storerooms that are out in side fields. Number of lit items, almost like they're trying to make a fire bigger.
What are they wearing? Any identifying marks or outfits or colors or banners?
I'm gonna ask for a second perception check for this one, because now you're trying to focus particularly on a particular target.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20s are good 20s. There's never a bad 20. You see that a number of them seem to have tacked together pieces of armor. Definitely with a dirty 20 and your own experience, these were looted off of somebody, stolen from other people. None of these are fit to the individuals who are wearing them. They seem to have all been painted, not dyed, but painted, with what looks like a very stylized attempt at a 7-pointed star. But some of them are very lopsided. Some of them, you can see that were the person who was messing with it, the paint wasn't dry when they put it on or when they moved it, so it's streaked in one way or another. This 7-pointed star is bright, almost an odd shade of blue in an indigo, bright, glaring against this dark, what you're pretty sure is leather armor. But none of it fits correctly. None of it seems appropriate for the individuals who are wearing them.
Have I encountered this 7-pointed star logo on people before that I may have encountered?
You probably have. No one seems to really know or been able to explain what it means, but definitely some people you've seen before with it.
Okay. Are these the previous encounters?
Mm-hmm.
Are, there's many people who are starving
Mm-hmm.
in Giarden and steal to survive. Burning usually is not involved with that, but in his previous encounters are these bad people? Are these people who are causing wanted destruction, basically taking what's not theirs, and for those who won't give it freely, then taking it either by force or just taking it away so no one can have it?
A lot of violence for the sake of violence. Not even stealing to survive, which you know a bunch of people who do in this day and age in this area. But they just seem to thrive in the destruction. And there have been a couple assaults. No one who's claimed murder yet. Couple burning places, things. They don't seem to have a creed, or at least not one that's been announced. Now, these are the most armored of the individuals with this symbol that you've ever seen. Most of the people you've seen wearing that 7-pointed star have been the term I would use probably in this would probably be a teenage gang members who aren't actually in a gang, but they like to think they are.
Mm-hmm.
That was who most of these people were.
Okay.
But they weren't armored. These ones are. And you can make out actual weapons and not just farm implements being repurposed.
So as Thorn runs down the hill, seeing them tossing, you're saying a storehouse, they're tossing these lit sort of burning brands into this storehouse. Storehouse, farmhouse?
It's the storehouse. So you came out of the orchard, and the farmhouse was up to the hill to your right, and the bottom of the hill to your left, there was a storehouse attached to the fields that were rolling out at the bottom of the hill. Mostly so you don't have to carry your heavy farm
Right.
implements too far.
Yeah.
A pole scythe is heavy.
Yeah. So as he's running towards them, not how far away am I?
By about
Uh,
this point, if you're coming down the hill, I would say you could probably be there in about, 30, 40 feet if you want to be in, want to close on them.
Before he gets that close,
Okay.
because he, this farmer that he's been working for, the owner, whether, however he came to this property, has been treating those who work for him well. And he knows the effort, especially in this part of the world, to even replace something as simple as a storehouse. So when he gets about 90 feet out, and I'm taking some liberty with this,
Okay. Go ahead.
he casts, while he's at a full run, casts a chromatic orb of cold damage through the
Yes.
open doors to try to extinguish any fire within, and also to draw their attention as he is charging towards them.
So I would like an Arcana roll to see if you can manipulate the orb the right way to put the fire out and not cause additional damage.
Okay.
But what's that next question?
Let's see how this goes. There's a chance I'll be using a luck on this. Being a charisma caster, I am not necessarily Arcana master.
You know, it could work.
It could work. It's a
Uh,
21.
It's a 21. You're good. You know that it's probably less about using the cold, it's less about the moisture and more about the suffocation of any flame that's in there. And so you're more setting the orb in a place and way that'll just suffocate and suck all of the air and oxygen that's in this space out. It is disconcerting. And a number of people turn and you realize that there are like 15 people. You couldn't see them all based on just where they were arranged at the bottom of the hill. Just objects were in the way. But now you're like, okay, there are 15 of them here in celebrating this. About 10 of them are armored. Or about 7 to 10 of them are armored.
Okay.
And you're also know that the individual gentleman who owns this property, you were referred to by Han. So, ownership might be in question, but his
Heart is good.
heart is good and he's willing to do a lot for the people around him.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Do I see anyone, most groups like this, in Thorn's experience, have, I'll call it a whip, a person in charge, a person who rallies them to keep them, this ragtag group with stolen armor and probably stolen weapons, and again, kind of out for a good time, held together.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to spot anyone like that?
You can indeed. Can indeed. Didn't think. Yes, you can. This is a tall, mostly human-looking individual, although there's some very different-looking markings in red and blue along, well, that kind of fade into the red and jerkin and black hood that he's wearing.
Hmm.
He stands just a little bit taller than the average height of the area. Well, let me phrase that, the average human that would live in the area. The halflings are significantly shorter, so they shift the average of the heights, but we're talking someone in
Right.
the 6'8", 6'9" category.
Okay.
And he definitely seems to be looking at you in a way that seems like he recognizes who you, not recognizes but who you are, but recognizes that you are the one that changed things in his situation.
Yeah. Um, I am going to close with uh, with this person as best I can. I understand that there are others around him, and I might
Mm-hmm.
need to get through them to get uh, to him.
Make a thing. We do a quick thing. I can do a quick thing. As soon as it loads. Sorry.
No worries.
And I'm gonna just make this easy for everybody. Cool. And now, I'm sorry for those of you at home, you will not be able to see my wonderful rendition of a map,
Uh,
but other people can. And this charming individual is your friend with the armor that seems to be more intact. Um, these are all of the individuals who are currently armed. They kind of spread around, kind of an awkward circle around the side of the building. If you just want to put yourself on there somewhere, you can put wherever you want to be. I need to feel that it is appropriate time to change some music. Um,
I'm not sure if I've got a token
yeah, I
selected.
think you just pull your name and it'll give you like just your generic body person token. But
Cool. That works. So, uh, when I get within 30 feet of said dude,
mhm.
Thorn yells out to this individual. I see you brought friends, but shall we keep this between the two of us? And cast Compel Duel on him.
Ooh, what does he have to do? Remember that
I
one.
need a Wisdom saving throw, DC 18.
Well, let's see if this works. He did. He did that. He rolled a 16 to do that, but he does make that wisdom save at an 18.
Oh, okay. Um, I believe yes. I see that he does not get pulled into the
Ooh.
goad, so
Okay, that's
no matter. He's going to continue to charge forward. Do you want some initiative or?
yeah. Yes, please go ahead and roll initiative. And I'm trying to figure out why it's not letting me roll. Because the people at home can see the roll, but you can't, which would be
Yeah, it's probably you might have it set to always whisper.
yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn that off through D&D Beyond. Because I'm a professional. Um, well, I can't figure it out. So let's try it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's try this with initiative. Okay, for a 6. No, for a 23. He rolled a 23. Okay.
I have a 25.
Okay, so you get to go first. And we're just going to use that second roll of a 6 for everybody else.
Okay.
So why don't you get to go first?
I have 30 feet of movement, so I'm going to close right up with our dude. Thorn pulls out Mill and Reap, the names of his sickle and hammer, and he's gonna make some attacks.
Please do. I appreciate that.
Starting with Reap. Ooh, that's only a 12.
A 12 is not good enough, however.
Yeah, I figured that was the case.
12 is not good enough.
Falling back up with Mill, the hammer, he swings around, having run in a bit too fast with his attack with Reap. That would be a 16.
That one does hit.
And he would take 10 bludgeoning damage from that.
That's going to hurt. Can't do the thing, though. Do. Just make this easy for everybody and put it on the thing.
No
Cool.
worries.
Cool. There you go. And then, yes, he will take that bludgeoning damage, and you can see him shift into it and kind of adjust his body weight in a way that you hit, and you know you did some damage, but he's a dude that can take a punch.
Okay.
Or 6, perhaps.
As Thorn sort of sizes up this character, being proficient in 2-weapon fighting, for bonus action, he's going to swing back around with Reap, his sickle.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a 25.
Ooh, yeah, that'll hit. For 6 piercing damage. And you can see it just like he's prepared to dodge again from that. He's thinking of the hammers now, but then you just catch him right on the off swing with that sickle, and it just kind of glances right underneath where that armor, that studded leather meets the top of the leather pants that he's wearing and armored pants that he's wearing. And so you can just kind of cut in between the spaces there, and he will grunt a little, but he still seems to be doing pretty okay.
And with that, Thorn just kind of smiling, and again, only at 5'11", sort of looking up to this large figure, just questioning, goes, "Shall we dance?"
Always loved a tango. And he is going to make his couple of attacks at you because he can. Oh, for 23.
23 will hit.
I like rolling dice for things, 6 damage.
Okay.
As he swings his scimitar out with one arm, and then you see he's bringing up his other offhand for the sinister poniard in return, as he's going to make his second attack. The 19.
As it comes swinging down, um, unseen by this gentleman, probably the rest of them, as it is not a large shield that uh, Thorn wears on his back, comes literally off his back, floating in the air, and comes around and blocks the attack.
And while that poniard gets stuck in the shield, he'll swing his scimitar in reverse grip and bring it around for a reverse slash with behind the forearm with a little bit more force, perhaps even looking to, stab you in the face. Or punch you in the face and then stab you. Oh, for a nat 20.
Look at that, a natural 20. Nice.
I like nat 20s. So for 9 damage.
9 damage is 9 damage.
9 damage is 9 damage. And then it's his buddy's turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to come up next to you and introduce themselves because they can. They want to be friendly with you in a very aggressive kind of manner.
Yeah.
I feel like okay. But they don't get multi-attacks. Sucks. Aw, right, And he's gonna not one and drop his weapon. He has dropped his weapon. For the one to your right, coming up around your inside, is slightly broader, a little heavier looking, a little stockier.
Okay.
A little shorter, even. Not quite. You're not behind the helm. It's hard to tell. You're pretty sure it's not a dwarf, but he might have some dwarven relatives.
Okay. A 21 will hit.
21 will hit for little d6 plus 1. So 6. Then this guy down here is going to try and stab you with his short sword for an 18.
Does not hit. King.
The shield comes around.
Shield.
The shield likes you, and I mean, it's useful. That other one for 21 is going to hit, so 7 points of damage. He crit on that with that
Nice.
backstab kind of sliding underneath a short dagger right underneath or short sword right underneath the edge of the shield as it's kind of spinning around you. And then we've got 2 guys. Yeah, we got 2 more guys. For 17, which is not going to hit you, right?
Not gonna hit. Cling.
And then a 16 will not hit. So, only 2 of them hit you.
Okay. So, Talon, Thorn looks around, seeing this group surrounding him, and this one individual, and he's taken quite a few hits, but the smile has not left his face. And with the one who had sort of hit him in the face with that natural 20, he sort of spits out a little blood onto the ground, his young face becoming quite focused, and is going to lay into this tall figure again, with Reap and Mel. Starting off with Reap on a 28.
28 will, you're hitting the guy who hit you or the captain?
Tall guy.
The tall guy? This one here. Or
Yes.
this one down here.
No, I think
Number
I thought
two. Number two.
The tall bald one I thought was
yeah,
the
the captain.
who I attacked first. The same.
Yeah. So the one you
captain.
attack first, yes, that will definitely hit, and 10 piercing damage will do damage. That's a lot of damage. That's some good damage there.
And as oh, actually, it does 20 damage. That is a 19, and Reap crits.
Oh yes, Reap
crits on a 19. So as this sickle comes whipping around its curved blade, you can see it's strange. The blade almost seems to grow. It seems to sort of the spine of the blade, which looked like a normal sickle, almost begins to look like wooden roots and branches. And as it whips and hooks into him right in the soft part of his midsection, having gotten underneath that armor, and Thorn pulling it backwards, those roots seem to almost reach up inside of his body cavity. And as he pulls it through the other side, the roots come out having spread, just pulling chunks of flesh, meat, this person's insides out with him. As I go ahead and pump a divine smite into that.
Go ahead, smite away.
For another 30 points of damage.
Ooh, he is very, very bleeding now. Lots of blood. There's blood everywhere. He got.
And because he crit with Reap, he has an advantage with Mill.
Yes.
Which is only a 14. You know what? I'm going to use one of those luck die because this is fun.
You can use a luck die. Go ahead.
For a 21.
For a 21? Yes.
So a 21 is a miss?
No, a 21 will hit.
Okay. So that does another 7 points of damage.
Ooh.
And
you're not looking so hot.
Just as this hammer that is really not much more than a small smithing hammer swings it around and nails him right on the elbow, and you can hear bone shattering, as it is a very targeted attack meant to, much like a smith's hammer used to shatter metal or to shape it very finely, shatters his elbow bone. And as bonus action, he's going to swing back around. He's going to swing back around with Reap. I thought of doing something else, but at this point, I think he's just going to do.
Yeah, he's going to hit with that.
And so that's for another 10 piercing damage. How's he looking?
He's looking, in the technical definition of the term, severely bloodied.
Reap is hungry.
Yeah.
And once fed, Reap sometimes likes to just taste a little more. As another divine smite goes in. Only 2 points.
2 points of damage on the...
I'm going to say that, boy, that's 2 ones. Woof.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Thorn knows of Reap's appetites.
I would say
and
that
pulls Reap away before doing irreversible damage.
I like it. I like it. Now it's his turn. Unless you have something else you wish to...
I think Thorn just looks not only to this one, but to the ones around. And Reap, when it crits, is not. It is an unsettling sight.
It's not nice.
And Thorn puts a bit of a look of fear on his face and says, I don't know how long I can hold it back. And as he says that, Reap sort of goes from looking like this scythe to almost looking just like this nightmare claw of vines and root and blade.
Can you roll intimidation? I'll even give you advantage because
Okay.
of a lot of things. Perhaps one might say.
It's a 23.
23. You can do. No, they can't. So the guys around his backup, his minions, his low buddies, they're gonna cut and run.
Okay.
You can take an opportunity attack if you want on any one of these individuals. The individual who dropped his sword, just kind of has this full on, just nope, and puts his hand up and like steps back like 6 feet at like big giant steps, and then kind of runs away backwards, trips a little, and then turns around and runs even faster away.
Okay.
The others are gonna run. Not even gonna try and be subtle and just run.
Thorn, I don't think is going to take an opportunity attack.
The individual in charge, the one that you've been laying into, he doesn't run. He stands there for a moment, kind of cocks his head at you, and brings the scimitar and the poniard up at the same time, crosses the blades, then just seems to
Stand by.
Mm-hmm.
I went a different way. Never mind.
Didn't take Mage Slayer?
Yeah, I just was double checking. There was a time in all of this creation that yes. But
yeah. No. The blades cross and he just disappears. It's not even like haze of smoke or anything. He just is there one moment and almost like you blink and he's gone. It's that you're not sure where. The others are running up the hill and down the street. They're, the weapon that the one guy dropped is still on the ground next to you, but everything else is, well, you have a smoldering building that looks pretty okay.
Are they all sort of running in the same direction?
Yeah, they're all running off the property in the same direction.
Thorn gives chase, looking to the shield with a smile, and the shield almost glints back as relentless pursuit is cast upon Thor, and which basically lets him take the dash action as a bonus action, as well as his normal movement speed. And so he runs and catches up, kind of smiling, sometimes jogging backwards. Where are we going, guys? Wait, what's the rush? It was a party. We were having fun.
The one guy who dropped his hammer is like, nope, you're not fun. You're blood. And just kind of like sits and like falls on the ground, puts his hand over his head, and just like, nope, not paying attention. You can't see me. If I can't see you, you can't see me. The others just keep going and are just gonna mostly ignore you. The one dude who hit you in the face for that nat 20 will kind of try and like elbow. You know what? I'm gonna see if he can do it. He's gonna try and elbow you in the gut as you're,
Okay.
that kind of. Probably not gonna go well, but. It's an 18?
Nope.
Yeah, he kind of like, you just hear it like slam into the shield. It's like, the ultimate funny bone prop, man. That would suck.
Thorn trips them.
Thorn trips him?
Yeah.
Oh, go right ahead.
What do you need me to cast? What do you need me to cast? What do you need me to roll?
It's an athletics or straight deck. Athletics or acrobatics.
Let's go acrobatics. We'll see how the roll is to whether Thorn has really tried or whether he's just messing. 17.
17 is gonna be, you're gonna hit on the 17. He just he kind of falls and rolls over himself. A couple of the other guys. Let's see if they can run by him.
Watch that. Right there. Don't fall.
One. Nope. One of them is going to trip, and it's just going to cause a, like, cascading pile of.
Oh, that's got to hurt.
Yeah. You hear some crunches. One of them's still running, and the other guy is on the ground with his hands over his head. But they're like a pile of 4 of them.
Watch for. You're okay. Good show. Nice. Oh, really? Sort of looking at the pile of bodies and sort of jogs back to the storeroom, making sure that everything is extinguished.
Yeah, everything's extinguished. The fire is out. Your chromatic orb took care of everything.
Passing by the one who was hiding in their own hands, Thorn is going to take Reap, which is now looking very standard sickle-like. Slice the strap off a shoulder piece or whatever, something that has that star on it.
Yeah.
And take it with.
A pauldron? Yeah, take one of his pauldrons.
Take one of his pauldrons.
He doesn't seem to react, and like the minute you turn around, you can kind of hear, with your passive perception, that scuttling sound of somebody moving on their hands away from you.
Good man. The rest are having some cuddle pile up the road. Don't want to miss out.
It starts to rain.
As he says that and walks back, he sort of says to us, I've got to stop hanging out with Han.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. That's a natural 20 for a 28.
So you look up as it starts to rain. That soft summer rain. Like that afternoon, not really a thunderstorm, just that break in the heat rain that isn't going to actually do much, but just gives you this nice kind of, might even actually feel nice to Thorn in this moment, kind of cooling after that exertion in 85-degree weather. And You look up and you say that, and you happen to glance just around the side of the building, kind of leaning and smirking at you, Han. And I think it's more Chewie who is standing there, and a 8-foot tall orc with a buzz cut and mohawk is, as much as he tries to hide, he doesn't.
With a sigh, Thorn sort of strides back, but because it is raining, Thorn actually takes Reap, the sickle, out of its sheath, and sort of hooks the blade sort of underneath of his arm, and the blade almost grows around to sort of set itself hilt up on his shoulder. And before, because it was hidden by Thorn's grasp, you see what looks like a small bonsai tree, and as the rain begins to fall on it, you see its branches, sort of what would be the pommel stone, sort of opens into a set of beautifully manicured branches catching the rain.
There's like a slow clap coming from this smaller halfling standing underneath this 8-foot tall orc. Brilliant show. Loved it. Beautiful movement. Very dexterous looking there. Perfect timing, and the running afterwards. I loved it. Every moment.
Picking up your bad habits.
Are they bad habits, though?
Yes, decidedly so. They are bad habits. What are you up to, Han? Hi, Chewie.
Chewie just kind of stands there and nods at you, and I will get the command to work. He looks up that level of, you don't even have to roll, it's that level of approval slash critique of, you know, someone who's fought a lot, who just inherently will look at a fight and go and evaluate it for both artistry and difficulty, and, you know, he just kind of looks at the individual that you walked by, who's still on the ground, you know, kind of slowly scuttling backwards, and like pulls a dagger, flips it between his hand, and like raises an eyebrow at you, like, you want me to just...
They're harmless. Fallen in with a bad crowd.
I would say...
Yes, Chewie, I will duck next time. He sort of blows a little blood and snot out of his nose that took the critical hit crack across it.
I mean, it looked like a really good hit when you took it, though. It was a really kind of... This Han kind of like comes up behind, next to you, this smaller halfling with, you know...
Be sure to make it sound nice next time you're in a tavern telling stories.
I do not tell stories. That's a bard's job. I solicit information. Two very distinct things.
Sure.
However, you are apparently very popular, sir.
Well, I hope not. Do you know anything about these people trying desperately to change the subject?
Shitheads looking to get into arson for dumbass reasons, or because what?
They've been around a few times before. 7-pointed star. They need to get someone who knows how to draw a little better. Just this one. I don't even think that's a point on that one. I think it was 6 points and they added an extra one. Ugh.
Is that supposed to be like... Chewie, back me up on this. Does this look like a butterfly kind of thing? He kind of like is holding the pauldron and like spinning it in different directions.
How on earth are you getting it? Do you not even know what a butterfly looks like? That looks nothing like a butterfly.
I distinctly know what a butterfly looks like. Would you like to see one? And he gestures with his offhand and...
It's lovely.
Small monarch butterfly or flutters off of his hand. He goes, no, but you cannot distract me this time because I am here on business.
The last time you were here on business, well, we don't talk about that, do we?
Not without a whole lot of alcohol. And you still owe me.
So you say, whatever. What is it that's brought you this time?
Mail call. And he holds up 3 letters, like kind of fans them out.
Letters are bad omens.
Well, this one's scented, so that's on you.
Thorn looks at it.
This one looks morbid, and this one looks like somebody you owe money to. Not that I opened any of them.
Of course you didn't.
I would not open your mail.
I actually believe you. Thorn looks at them and unless there's any distinguished markings, and who are they? How are they addressed?
So one is addressed to my knight in shining armor with the hammer and the sickle, and just little hearts and flowers, and it's scented with gardenia, just kind of wafting off of this.
Oh no, a fan. Flips to the next one.
It's a very very form-written statement, almost printed in a very formalized hand. It says, Thorn the Hedgeborn, care of, wait, I need his full name.
Hanfred something.
Yeah, it's Hanfred, Shepherd of the Southern Duchy is what his official title is. And
I think they know who you are more than they know who I am. Next.
Thorn, servant of the Empire, charge of Jardin, Lord, whatever he surveys, and servant of Fasti Tattoo.
Servant of what? I'm sorry, I just didn't hear you.
Fasti Tattoo.
Okay. Well, someone went to some trouble to sound official. I opened the one with all the titles on it, the last one you mentioned first.
It is an invitation. It starts very simply, Dear Champion, servant of the divine, paladin of protection. Excuse me, paladin and protector.
Yeah.
You are invited, and due to your fine work and skillful, what's the word I want here in English? Skillful assistance on the roads and protection of what was Giardan, to see and bring in the new light to the Empire. You are summoned and invited to the coronation. Alexander Mackinnon.
Knowing that Han moves in such circles, Thorn first flips it, holds it up to him.
Mm-hmm.
You did this.
I did
you
nothing.
You did this.
I did nothing. What are you accusing me of?
Why would you do this to me?
What are you accusing me of? I did nothing.
The coronation?
Not my fault you made yourself attractive and stood out to a bunch of Imperials on the highway. The shield is shiny and distinctive.
Had I known who they were, I would have let the bandits rob them.
You saved them. You're known. It's not my fault. Also, you got an invite and I didn't. I feel like I'm getting insulted here.
He sort of looks hard up and down. I think you would make a wonderful Thorn the Hedgeborn.
Not gonna happen. Good try, though. They already know that he's human. Or at least looks human. And even with magics that exist, I cannot change my vertical impediments. And while I am quite proud of my 4 foot 3/4 of an inch, I am not that.
Thorn, knowing Han sometimes levels of reliability, Thorn checks the date.
The date on when it was
invitation.
The invitation for what date are you looking for? The date that it was written, or the date of the coronation?
The date of the coronation, to make sure, knowing that Giardan no longer has a teleportation circle, and that Visava is 1,200 miles away.
Yeah.
And that could have potentially remained in Han's pack for a month, perhaps 2, before making its way to Thorn. He has moderate levels of concern, knowing that to, as much as he'd like to, blow off an imperial coronation is probably not in his best interest.
Probably not in his best interest. You would see that you have 2 months to get there. And you don't have to go all the way to Visava by land, you just need to get to Posilov. Posilov has a teleportation circle. And how are you doing with those dwarves?
Thorn thinks back. It's been a while since I've seen the mountains.
Good, so you're going to the big snooty vent, and then you can stand there in front of this emperor who invited you to this big shindig and perhaps tell him that we're getting just royally screwed down here?
I will deliver your message word for word.
Why does that not fill me with... Yeah, Chewie, are you getting this? And Chewie, this tall orc with this shaved head mohawk that kind of hangs down, kind of raises an eyebrow, looks at both of you, and in heavily accented common with the dialect a little bit off. You know this is going to go very badly.
No doubt. No doubt.
Can you bring back whiskey?
Oh, you don't want Imperial whiskey. It's awful.
No, but if you go see dwarves...
Oh, now, okay, I misunderstood. Yes. I will. I'll bring you something special. I'm sure I'll be able to find something. They have inns or taverns or something along those lines there in the Dwarven communities, I'm sure. Thorn says that with a bit of a twinkle in his eyes.
Could you roll... Hold please while I check the skills so I don't misspeak. Could you roll... Let's go with investigation.
Ooh, okay.
This.
It's an 18.
An 18, which is your passive. All right. As you're kind of staring off, thinking about, some perhaps previous adventures amongst the dwarves and how good a time you would have had with them, question mark. Perhaps a very good time. You glance, you still have the letter in your hand, and you kind of have that side glance. Something draws your attention to the signature at the bottom. And it is calligraphied, and it reads like it's just the royal invitation, so, it's not really signed by anybody. I mean, technically it's signed by the Crown Prince Alexander Mackinnon, who is apparently going to become emperor, although you haven't heard anything about the emperor dying. Hasn't been anything announcements like that. But you notice a glint of color, a kind of shimmer of what we would call an oil slick through the black of the ink, kind of distorts it just a little bit.
Okay. I cast Detect Magic on it.
It is enchanted. There is an enchantment to hide something on the front of the letter, because, it's not really in an envelope, it's folded over on itself and then sealed. Right. So there's something on the front. Then there's like a seal of what probably would have been a seal of authenticity in the signature to ensure that it was actually registered as being from the Imperial Court, but the front is different. Has something hidden on it.
Well, magically hidden.
Yes, magically hidden.
Then I will dispel it. I'm just gonna burn through them slots.
It's an introduction. You don't have to worry. You'll have plenty of time to take a
Right?
nap between now and a month from now.
Yeah, it's not like I took some 25 points of damage from bandits.
You know, I guess the question is, how is Thorn looking after taking 25 points of damage for some bandits?
Thorn's fine.
A workout, right? A couple bruises,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Thorn is fine and still has plenty of ways to regain hit points.
You can, as you dispel it, you can see that the name on the front changes.
Thorn looks at the name, folds the letter in half, and shoves it into his pack.
The first name is what you'd expect. The title isn't.
I will ask for that title in private.
I will whisper you that title. But with this letter in hand, and Han kind of looking at you like, you okay? You look like you just swallowed a lemon. And not the good kind.
Thorn just smiles. Ghosts is all.
Ghosts suck. You shouldn't talk to them. They'll give you indigestion. Don't do it.
Agreed.
I also firmly recommend, salting an area, getting a cleric. I can't do shit for that. That's not my job.
Paladin.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're shiny and shit. You can do that.
Yeah.
And there's this glint in his eye, like it takes you, with your insight, you're passive. There's that glint in his eye that you're like, oh man, he wanted me to say that. He knew and just.
Don't ever change, Han. Thorn sort of turns on his heel and starts walking back to the barn where there are a few of the things that he keeps with him, no more than a pack's worth at any given time. And as he was boarding in the barn in exchange for his labor at the orchard, he packs all his belongings in this world. Reap still sort of balanced on his shoulder, finally needing to sheath it so he can slip the pack over his shoulders in sort of a very familiar way, and one well-traveled, and starts heading northward.
Don't die. Have fun storming the castle. Bring me pictures.
Of course, Han.
I promise not to let them burn it down while you're gone.
Please. I've been trying to keep this region held together for far too long for it to burn down now. It's a little bit of an edge in Thorn's voice.
And as the road opens up in front of you, as you walk through the hills and valleys, the plains and woodlands of this area, territory, province that you have walked. Time. We fade away from our dear friend Thorn the Hedgeborn. And we will see him in the near future. Well. But thank you, Tall Squall, for being here. Thank you for this. It was a wonderful introduction. How are you feeling?
Great. What fun. I am excited. I am interested, and fun little combat, and also fun to see Han and Chewie. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the rest of our group's introductions. And it seems as though, I could be mistaken, we're not going to have a you meet in a tavern, but you meet at a coronation. So that's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see everybody in the coronation, but perhaps some people have already met. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Perhaps. But we'll see. Can you tell the fine folks where you're going to be, where you can find you, all of that good stuff, and you can drop links in chat if you wish.
Yeah, you can find me. Well, you can find me here. Basically, I'm hoping to get back to streaming. I'm on a bit of a hiatus right now on my own channel, but you can follow me everywhere as Tall Squall. And yeah, there's lots more to come with Thorn the Hedgeborn and what lies ahead.
And we're going to take our break. When we come back, we're going to have our next character introduction, and I can't wait for all of this because it's going to be so much fun. But everyone take about 8 minutes, stretch, bio, refresh yourselves, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you in a little bit, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is time for our second character introduction. We hope you were refreshed, you stretched, you did all of the wonderful things that you needed. But now it is time to turn our attention south, further south. And while it was hot in the rolling plains of southern Varoom, a good deal hotter during the day in the Kingdom of Tenerique. Vast deserts of Tenerique, I should say. The capital of Tenerique City. You can hear the sounds of musicians weaving through the city. Smell the spices in the air. Hear the strikes of blows of hammers on metal, halls, and shouts of shopkeepers winding through the marketplace builds up in the air as it flutters through large arched windows, kind of mud brick and sandstone, designed to reflect the heat and be naturally cooling. Large number of clay tile roofs kind of stretch out over the city. Where do we find... Well, first the question is, who and what is Fiorella Barrel Ember?
Fiorella Barrel Ember. Theo to a few of her friends that she is willing to let her call for that is not from Tannery, but is the artist in residence here. It's a nice, cushy position. Lets her do what she wants. Her songs, her performance, in a place where talents aren't judged, but actually loved. She is a woman in her mid to late 20s, dark hair, has a little bit of that long hair tied up, bit of that oil slick kind of like prismatic sheen to it, pale, immaculate dramatic makeup, stunningly beautiful, and it's all times wears the most fashionable clothes.
Most fashionable for where you are, or where you want to make fashion?
Make fashion, of course. That's why I'm here. Set trends.
Set trends and influence people.
Mm-hmm.
Then my next question is where do we find Theo this morning? On a clock. Probably.
I think we'll find her in her residence, which is primarily, I think, in the entertainment district, never too far away from any place that she needs to perform, nor far away from places of importance here. It's nice. It's well decorated, rich, fitting her status as a noble, of course. But it's not overly large. There is well decorated, except for one wall, which is surprisingly bare.
It's a nice townhome where you have a upper level, the top level of this 3-story building. Courtyard that opens up in the center to give air flow. Long silk gauze draperies kind of flutter in the wind as it comes up off the river. You can hear the sounds of people throughout the city going about their business. There's a flutter. Bird lands on your window.
What kind of bird is it?
Small songbird made of glass.
Oh, now what's this? She'll reach out her finger toward kind of like in that, like the
You're going to pet along the back of it.
pet along back and then just kind of like if it wants to kind of like sit on her finger. Sure.
It'll flutter up and sit on your finger. You can see a tiny scroll of paper tucked under one wing.
Oh, what is this? What did you bring for me? Pretty little thing. Oh, so pretty. I'll take the scroll and unroll it.
It is an invitation to dinner at the palace. Private dinner. With the Shah. A request for a performance.
Oh, tonight. Oh, I think I have just the thing for it. That's the thing I was working on. So, there's no better time, and I have nothing to do today. Performances are scheduled for later in the week. I have time to plan, maybe work on that opera I was working on. I called Tib about that, but it's be wonderful to go today. It's exactly what I need. Get seen in the right places, of course.
The bird just kind of cocks its head at you.
Oh, do you have to go home or?
It just kind of like settles in itself on your hand.
Why don't you just? She'll kind of take the finger and just kind of put it on her shoulder. It's like, how about right there?
And it kind of flitters for a moment and kind of settles. It doesn't have the weight of like an actual bird.
Mm-hmm.
It's glass, and so it's a little awkward, but it moves and it feels warm and alive.
You know, if you stay with me, I am the perfect thing that you can go without. Just show off your best qualities. Can you do that for me?
The bird will just settle in.
Yeah, she'll make the little kissy noises at it.
You can hear from the street, shouts and hoorays. Sounds like a jostling little performance going on out in the street, one of the back corners. But you said that you were preparing an opera. Ooh, for me,
Yes.
what kind of opera are we writing?
Just it's one that she has been working on or thought about working on. She hasn't quite necessarily done the work, but there was a nice little adventure she had in the coast a number of years ago. Got pirates, got all sorts of things to raise the spirits of people.
So I have to ask: are these normal pillaging pirates, or are these perhaps misunderstood privateers of an island nation.
Oh, there are both. There's the awful, 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 monstrous pirates, and then there's the brave, dashing pirates, halflings.
Halflings. Is there perhaps a poor, tortured, noble woman who falls in love with the wrong man and is tricked almost into freeing an abomination onto the world, but then is saved at the last minute through the intervention of the gods?
Of course. You know, you got to combat the bad PR that you get. You got to
Yes, indeed.
show that yours truly is on the side of the gods, loved by them, of course.
You will hear a soft knock at your door inside at the landing.
Just you'll approach it, stop a little distance away from it, make a little hand gesture, opens up.
There's a very squat looking dwarf standing there. Female, close cropped hair that's kind of been teased up into a giant beehive and is kind of tilted to one side. You can even see, like, where it's been a number of gears have been interwoven so that it can actually, like, move in some manner. You think, but it's not currently working, but it's Mistress Barrelember, correct?
You have that correct?
Ah, you are She kind of picks her glasses up as she looks at you, squints. Right. I have here an order for 50 smoke cannons?
Yes. 50 of them.
Where am I installing these? And she kind of looks around like she's expecting that you want 50 smoke cannons installed in your apartment.
Oh, I have a space in the back. I can just have them delivered, and I can have others do that for me.
I don't guarantee the effect.
Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? Put them in the performance hall. I'm gonna have to use. They have extra space down there. I think they can make it. Of course.
Of course.
Just tell them it was from me. Of course.
Okay. Yes. And, like, as she shakes her head, the beehive just tilts a little. Like, just a little bit. And then she walks down. You can see, like, the long draping robes that she's wearing. You know, this, like, caftan for the heat. There's a number of little gears that are pulling up at the back where you can see that they're slowly winding itself up so that the train of this caftan doesn't fall on the floor as she's walking down the stairs or through the streets. All right, guys, apparently we're going to the performance hall, and you can hear her talking to a number of people downstairs.
Excellent.
What are you going to do today?
First order business. It's not till the evening, correct?
Oh no, not till dinner time. Private performance and dinner.
Okay. Well,
And it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
I do have a dress to check up on. They requested my approval for it, and I have been waiting for this one for a long time.
So is this your personal tailor, or perhaps a more, one might say, one with a royal warrant?
Oh. How about my friends of Royal Warren, of course. That one. I love them.
So they're a mode. What is the actual phrase for the the house for the dressmaker, designer, is perhaps a couple streets away from you in a more slightly quieter section of the of town. You're right closest to the theater and the opera, off one of the main plazas and squares, busy nightlife. But this is a more sedate area of town. A number of people on the street. Well, how do you go? How do you travel to this seamstress?
She'll put on one of her more casual dresses. They're still incredibly nice. Usually one that is doesn't quite hit the ground. A little revealing, but a little more in the tradition of the Tenerique itself. But the sun, she's gonna take her parasol and just kind of have her mage hand hold it for her as we'll take a nice little walk outside. Good to get the air.
I personally love
the smells.
Spices
are great.
Smoked meats. Call of people shouting. You get off as you walk through the streets with your mage hand carrying your parasol, which is, I think, a brilliant idea, and I love.
Nothing like frivolous uses of magic in a setting that maybe doesn't.
It's okay. You're in Tenerique. It's not like you're in a different city.
I'm not in Cortel, so that I'm still alive.
You're not in Cortel, so you're, not having a problem with certain people who might have an issue with that. You can see a wide swath of peoples and species, a number of orcs and a couple half-orcs. See some elves and dwarves. There are a couple gnomes who are arguing with a couple of the halflings in barter trade, yelling from a caravan as you walk by. One of the large, tall, statuesque, half-orc women who seems to be a similar bard. Because you've attended the festival to Zephyrin in Durakan, and she was one of the performers. Good enough, local talent. Much more like what type of genre, if we were to compare, of music is Fio tend towards?
Oh, it would be the style, flavor, not necessarily. It's very poppy in a way. It's something that is it's a lot of flashy song, dance. There's a little bit of sultriness in there too.
Yeah, this particular half-orc bard that you've seen before, she tended towards the R&B side of things, in a very good in her genre, not a lot of magic casting, but really good performances.
Mhm.
And I turned the music up too high, at least for me. But she kind of waves at you and, does that, um, come,
Yes.
gesturing towards her kind of
Just like,
wave.
hey. Excitedly, I'll make my way there.
And where did I put her? Hold please while I pull out my giant pile of notes. Do the thing. There we go. You know her as Selin, Selin.
Mhm.
She doesn't have a use name, at least not one that you've ever been introduced to. She's just Selin,
Mhm.
and she has performed a number of times, but she's like, no, feel, look, and she gestures to a very large, freestanding zither. She's like, what do you think? I had this commissioned.
Oh, it is beautiful.
It's ingrained wood, and you see the metal they got from the dwarves in Navalov.
It's it is lovely. I can see. Oh, the little details are just perfect. Oh, gotta have a matching issue for yeah,
Mm.
loveliness, right? Right. And this is perfect for you. Look at it. I can already tell you're gonna make some wonderful, wonderful music with it.
Could you are you being honest?
Yes, I think she's being honest.
Then roll me persuasion. Ooh, 27. Very good. 27 seems to be the initial roll of the day. I'm liking this. Uh, she is absolutely enthralled that you think that it's beautifully done. It's a dark ebony wood with inlays of an ivory of some sort, and maybe a mother of pearl. You'd have to take a better, sharper look at it to be determined. And it would be oversized for someone of your height, but it's
Mm-hmm.
in proportion to her standing about 7 feet tall.
Yes.
Oh, are you going to the... And she, like, stops. And you can definitely tell it's this moment of where she's trying to remember the words in common.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to the festival this year?
If I get enough work at the opera, I might not have enough time this year. But I had so much fun the last time.
Rumor is that they will be performing Thorn himself.
Really?
And that he will be sponsoring a members for a royal college.
Oh, that is quite the regimentation. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna be there this year. Then I'll just have to make appearances, I guess, at a certain point. How about you? You going?
Yes. I'm going to compete. I have a new trilogy of works dedicated to Regent Sezin Longbow.
Ooh.
She is also supposed to be coming. And might be perhaps discussing unit, the joining together, the unanimity,
Ah,
unif.
unification.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Oh, well. You know what they say, time and place. Choose patrons and choose subjects accordingly. Talent and opportunity get you places, right?
Yes.
I mean, I can't, of course, can't compete this year. I mean, it would be rude for me to try and find another position with Shaw being as
Kind
generous.
as he is.
Mm. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you mean exactly, but
Uh, mm, mhm.
oh, I know. I'm just saying that being capricious with your appointments is not necessarily
It
a
is
good look for people like us.
no,
You know?
is not a good look. We should look good. And she kind of like strikes a pose. And you can see that
Yes.
she's gone to a very nice like dark turquoise and blue and white geometric pattern long caftan over a pair of like dark leather leggings that just kind of falls slightly off one shoulder, embracing both the fashion of the city but also still a lot of the practicality that you get in a quasi-nomadic people with the orc territories. And she it really offsets like the slight paler undertone of which in the sun has turned to a very dark olive green,
Mm-hmm.
and her very black hair. So it looks very striking. It's like, and she kind of looks at you like, "Am I posing correct? Am I doing the pose thing correctly?"
You may have to start that all over again, maybe. Oh no, I'm joking. I'm joking. You look great. You always why do you even ask that sort of thing? You know.
Okay. Yes, I have. There's this moment of like where she's like parsing the joke in her head in shifting the language. She goes, that's very good. I have to go, but I wanted to say that you are gorgeous as always, and I look forward to your next performance.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If there are openings in the performance hall later in the month, if you want an opening, I can. If you want a spot, I have some openings. Also, if I do end up making it this year, I have a couple friends that may be joining us and might take if that sort of thing suits you, take the express there.
I would prefer to take the express.
It is. I made that trip once and it was worth it, but it was a dreadfully long trip.
There are some very nice vistas in the desert, but I don't prefer to take a month to cross the desert.
As beautiful as they are, the heat is a big competitor as far as
And the sand will
constitution.
damage your hair.
Yes, it damages everything.
but there's prestidigitation for that.
Yes, well, sometimes you have to try really hard to go through the clothing. Even like some of the silks don't really take it that well. But that's what we have menders for, right? That's why we have tailors, right?
Mm-hmm. And you pick mine up. Thank you for reminding. And she just kind of like waves at you as she kind of hurries off. But I will talk to you about the performance hall. I will.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Yes. And she kind of wanders off away from you. What do you do? Where do you go? Continue on your way to the
Continue on to the speaking of, like, just got done with talking about clothes, so that's on my mind. Steal the dresses in case alterations need to be made or fixes, or there's bad news and they can't find something.
You are in luck. Your seamstress, the new one that you're using with the royal warrant, you got a very good recommendation to use from the Shah's wife, even Yamin.
Yes.
But they have almost everything you want in stock. They're waiting on a caravan coming down from Baraka. It was delayed. Some unexpected rains in the mountains, but the caravan is supposed to be only delayed a couple, perhaps a week at most. It has some of the accent pieces that you were looking for in this piece design, statement dress.
Yeah. So what this dress is, it's a it's like a sleek, dark. Feels favorite colors are like almost a midnight blue and like a bronzy orange. So it is mostly a dress. Blue fabrics, bronze, like jewelry, neck, cuffs, waist, and the thing that is going to be the most costly thing that's going to make waves is blue tannerite glass.
Ooh.
Design all over.
And it's the bronze dyed thread for some of the embroidery that's coming from Baraka. That's unfortunately delayed. Not late, but, a little later than expected. Mostly just the weather. It's unpredictable in the mountains, you know how it is.
Actually, she doesn't know how it is, but that's people say it.
People say it often enough that she believes it.
She knows that things get stuck there. She doesn't actually know by person how it is, though.
This is true. While you're discussing this design and getting fitted, most of it can be fitted right now. There's just some pinning. They want to take it in a little bit. And it's beautifully, gorgeously made. There's a messenger who drops a letter off for you.
Must be urgent if they didn't wait to drop it off at the apartment. So, let's see what it is.
It is a letter from Yamin, the Shah's wife.
Oh.
I will be meeting. Do you have a brief moment? I wish to speak with you at the performance hall. I have some desires for Hassan's birthday. I would like to discuss.
Yes. Of course. Wouldn't miss it.
She was asking, like, basically, can you meet me there in like an hour, kind of thing.
Yep. I mean, this won't take long. This was just a This is just checking up on the status of it, making sure.
easy in, out. You can make your way back across town. A few people shouting out at you and smiling and waving. One guy going, I can't wait for the next performance. I hope to be in the front row this time.
She'll give like she has the parade wave that she has like perfect, like she's like, oh, thank you, as she keeps going.
Wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Circle at the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
So smile and nod.
Yep. Just a very, very well cultivated smile, nodding that. You know, you don't have to say anything necessarily. You just kind of like, yes.
Could you
Yes,
just roll
I
me
acknowledge you.
performance as you make your way across town?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a performance, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes. 28.
Ooh, very nice. There are a number of people who will stop and wave and stare at you. A couple kids are like leaning around buildings and like whispering about how gorgeous your dress is and how fancy you are. You get one comment from a curmudgeon sitting in a doorway saying, that's a waste of magic. And then somebody, if like 5 people shushing him, you know, because you can. But everyone is enthralled and have been so since you won? Is that the right word? The position?
Absolutely, I won that position. Didn't hurt that. Did a little bit of help for the city by getting rid of the, you know, Sorcerer of the Sand a number of years ago, so.
Yes, the sand sorcerers are unfortunately a problem. Keep popping up like daisies. Could you roll me a perception check, please?
Of course. 15.
I love how you guys keep rolling your passives in perception.
I mean, is it? Yes, it is, actually.
Um,
Oh, I even put in the thing. So good.
There, as you make your way through into the performance hall and you kind of walk in, there's this moment of when, like, the bright sun from the desert, even with the overhang, the big cloth colored overhangs that kind of hang through the marketplace, kind of, there's this shift in your eyesight when you walk into the performance hall building. You know, it's kind of built downward, slightly into the ground, so it's like, can take advantage of the natural cooling that comes from the earth and the stone underneath. And this just flash moment of the little bit of darkness, and you walk into the building, and you can kind of hear Lady Yamin in the front, you know, talking to a number of people that definitely, in, you know, like her entourage, right? Her scheduler, her bodyguard, her whatever, and a little ways away, down, and if you came in from the front doors of the performance hall, probably down into what we would consider the pit, the orchestra pit. What do you do?
I'm going to walk down there in the manner that, in large spaces, when like shoes hit stone, she has that walk where it's like it just kind of echoes out.
Oh, does she have a that heel toe high heel walk, or that placement high heel walk? Is it sashaying or striding purposefully?
Sashaying.
Okay. Sachet is, you know, a great way to describe everything.
You gotta keep the image that, you know, everything's kind of breezy for you, so.
You look, you can see that Yaman can hear you, and so she looks up and like waves away her like minion attendants, her bodyguard, who is well, no one's ever actually seen them. They wear a full mask, helm, and chain veil. Rumor is that they were a member of the Zendari, but
Mm.
that's just a rumor. You know, why would a paladin of Praxilus the Just leave Cortel and hang out as a bodyguard in Tenerique?
I mean, why is anybody here? So, you know,
It is the most fashionable
rumors
city
are
in the world.
rumors, and maybe rumors are true. Who knows?
Who knows? But they never have taken. They wear full armor at all times, and they've never taken their helm or with mask veil off. They never, or with chain veil. They never have given any. They don't talk to anyone but Yemen, so no one knows who they are. They just are like a
It's
piece of furniture.
impressive and intimidating, and can be non-intrusive. It's very impressive every time.
Theo, darling, and she'll come up and give you a kiss on both cheeks.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yes. I was. Yeah, the whole. Yes. Oh. Came as soon as I got the message. Ah.
Nusser is driving me crazy.
Oh, what is it? What is it this time?
He wants Hassan to have what Hassan wants.
Mm.
Hassan thinks that he is going to have a pitched seed battle inside this building.
Oh, I can see. Yes. Logistically nightmarish, right?
Thank you. And a waste of water.
Yes.
Why can my husband not say no to my son?
Well, because Doris the child. It is a mark of a good father to say that. Take it from someone who had a bad one.
Nusser's relationship with his father was complicated on so many levels. But we are also hosting all of Nusser's siblings. I need a migraine.
All of them. They're all in town.
Yes. The celebration for Hassan's birthday is apparently going to be... It's a month away and already they're coming. Cannot.
Oh, is Malik coming this time?
Of course Malik is coming. Why would Malik not come?
With him sometimes.
He is absolutely wonderful. I do not know what's your problem. Why you and Malik and do not get along? I think that you should get along so well.
Oh, don't worry. We do get along. If you see me not getting along with someone, you will know when I don't get along with someone, right?
Oh, that is true. That is true. Everything. I'm sorry. I'm just... I admit that I'm a little stressed. Also...
I mean, with that order, that I can imagine, yes. It's like getting trying to fit a performance in when you only have a half an hour, so I understand.
And on top of everything, we have to make a trip. Also, I told Nusser I would give it to you because I would see you first. Here, the letter. Take.
Oh, one for me as well. Oh, let's see what. Well, no point in waiting. All right, open it up.
It is addressed to Lady Fiorella, Beryl Ember, artist in residence and bard extraordinaire, three-time winner of the Golden Trophy from in honor of Zephyron the Entertainer. Lady without peril.
I love the full. To herself, I think she's like, I love the full title. It's good. It makes me.
Full titles are good. It is very... But, Theo, you would notice that the calligraphy, printing style, is not local. Oh. And in fact, it looks much more like what you would have grown up with in Varoom.
Yeah, more. Yes. Oh. It's important.
Yes, apparently the Emperor died, and now I have to deal with this. Birthday. All 15 of the siblings are in town, and now the Emperor died.
How much word has gone out exactly about that? It's the first time I've heard of it.
I don't even know that it's how he died. It didn't say anything. All it said was we're invited to the coronation for Alexander. I'm assuming that Alexander's getting coronated because his father died. If he's not getting coronated because, oh my god, what if he's alive? And she starts having like this hyperventilating moment.
If they're well enough, if things are well enough to send out invitations and things are going smoothly. If things weren't going smoothly, there would be,
you're right.
Conflict of some sort. You know how we are.
Of course. If there was, look,
So a trip.
Hassan has a girlfriend. He's 10, and he said he has a girlfriend.
Oh. That is trouble, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't usually be a problem, but he says his girlfriend is a camel. Am I supposed to take this okay?
Oh,
I understand that men and these fighty people have weird relationships with their horses, but...
You know what? Don't worry, because children, they do these sort of things all the time. It's most likely a phase with the camel things. What you have to worry is if they get older.
He wanted to invite the camel to the birthday party.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And sit next to him is his girlfriend. I can't fit a camel at the dinner table, Theo.
Well, oh boy. That is quite, because... Oh.
What would everyone say if we have a camel at the table?
Oh, I know what they would say. They would talk. They would say, well, what is like awful. They're absolutely awful. They'll start rumors about anything. If you sit in the wrong position, if you sit in the wrong way, if you make eyes at the wrong people, they'll say you're a demon or something, right? It's awful. They're awful. But they're the same people. They're same people that sometimes we have to rely on for good words. So, can't deal with them any other way.
This is true. Poisoning that many people is too much effort.
Wow. I am at a loss, honestly.
Anyways, I'm sorry. You have mail. I have to figure. And she kind of looks around like she's going to walk away for a moment. If you don't stop her, so she's going to step away.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Oh. Well, look at the when is this thing?
Well, have you opened?
Yes, I opened it. Yeah.
It is an invitation
Mm-hmm.
to directly inviting you, a protector, wonderful performance artist. Mentions a couple of your smaller jobs that you did in your adventuring days in Varoom. And then invites you as a personal guest of Prince Agnar. The middle prince, to be his +1 at his brother Alexander's coronation in a month's time.
Oh, well. You know what? This is a good opportunity to... She thinks to herself, this would be a good opportunity to silence a few rumors, to be on someone else's arm for a change at a big event. So, you know what? I've been to the Imperial City in a long time. Actually, where is the venue?
The coronation is going to be in Vasava.
Ah, oh, nice.
In a month.
Nice. In a month. Okay. Excellent. You know what? Yeah, that is opportune. Can make appearances. Can two birds in one stone. Chase off some salacious rumors.
Chase off salacious rumors. What salacious rumor are you attempting to chase off, Theo?
That she is intimately involved with the Shah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Juicy. But
Terrible rumors.
terrible rumors. It's all false, and they're just attacking you, aren't they?
Foul temptress, all that.
Oh, yes,
garbage.
Jezebel, phrasing, all of that horrible things.
Demon, all that.
No one really appreciates it.
Mm-mm.
Cool.
Oh, you know what?
Mhm.
This is gonna be. Unless she has information, this is probably the first time such invitations have gone out. It's time to take another opportunity to, you know what? She is going to make a few hand gestures and cast sending.
Oh, who are we casting sending to?
First time to her dear sister,
Oh,
Frederica.
okay. What do you send to your charming sister?
Hello, sis. Just got invited to a guest of honor at the coronation. Did you get one? If you did, I'd love to see you at the event. I'm sure I won't embarrass the family this time, as I always do. So, love.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the love in.
Yeah, that was it. That was the end. Yeah, that's.
There isn't a response right away, but you know that it's sent.
What time is it?
Probably by this point, it's late in the afternoon.
Oh, she's probably in meetings. Important family meetings. That's funny. That's great. She just basically got a tweet blasted in her ear, and then probably in the middle of some. Oh God, I hope she was speaking. That would have been.
Just for my joy and edification, could you please roll me a dex save?
Oh, okay. Dex. 24.
24 is very good and definitely good enough as all of a sudden, as you're in the middle of this sending, you glance up and this blast of fire just kind of shoots by you as this one of the apprentice stage not performers but stage special effects the performance hall, the royal performance hall hires a few low-level wizards to add drama and flair to performances. You know, like when you have in present day in our world, when you used to have a performance of Aida and they had actual elephants appear on stage. Well, this is like, we want fireworks and whatnot. Well, we have wizards for that, right?
Yes. Appropriate use for powerful magical talents, of course.
In Tenerique, of course. And
that's why I'm here. No one says anything about that.
You just see this ashen-faced, young-ish human, 15, kid, dark hair, just wearing the general robes outfit, oversized tunic and hose and leggings of the performance hall, is just absolutely white face going, did not mean to do, I'm so sorry.
She'll walk. Just she'll check her clothes. There's nothing singed, correct?
No,
Or-
no,
okay.
no. You needed a 15 and you rolled a 24. You just kind of stepped brightly to the side and it all went right by you. Like there's a scorch mark on the aisle.
Mhm.
Like you might have to replace that or have somebody come with mending to fix that piece of carpeting, but
I'll walk up. Well, that was a close call, wasn't it? There, I know we treat what we do with a certain amount of frivolity, right? Things that aren't necessarily looked down upon every place else. It's the one place where we can practice what we do here, right?
You just see his eyes get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And I know that this is a rehearsal. There are places for this, but in the future, there are only one. There's only one first impression,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone makes mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we live and learn. So keep that in mind, and you'll be all right here. And she'll kind of just pat him on the shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose there's no practice, so find the appropriate room and continue on.
Thank you.
Oh, take care. Oh, what's your name, by the way?
Ishmael?
Well, good luck. Just also remember to. You have to remember where distance. Distance is something you have to get better at, and judging where things are. So I know in the performance that there'll be moving things, and keeping those spatial judgments while distracted is a must.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course. Good day.
Mm-hmm. He kind of sidles
Mm-hmm.
away, back to the wings.
She's not gonna remember. I mean, he's probably fine. Like, honestly, she'll probably forget who it is. But you have to remember that you have to keep a little bit of fear in them.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, all of that. What do you do as the afternoon sun kind of fades and it's approaching dinner time?
She is going to, once business here is done, head back to her abode and just pick out the outfit for tonight.
I and the audience have a very important question.
What is the this was a private.
Mm-hmm. Private performance and dinner.
Oh, well. Like I said, have to keep loose tongues from wagging, so something more to the style, something more professional for tonight. But something in the we'll go with blue. We'll go with the glass blue color for tonight for drapery with a little bit of just say white and gold. Something sleeveless for her modest cut on it.
Just
But-
because this game doesn't have one of the skills I missed from all of the R. Talsorian Interlock games, could you roll me performance, and we'll use that as like wardrobe and style.
Yeah. But also since she has a she'll pick the dress. 21. But
Okay.
she'll pick some alternates in case atmospheres change, situation changes, and it'll go in her bag.
You know, you need to have multiple costume changes for a performance like this.
Yes.
It is in the inner portions of the palace instead of the outer portion, which is, you know, more business related and relatively open to the public. The Shah hosts greeting days once a week, and the, you know, petitions days, where he just sits in the large throne room and the doors are open to theoretically anyone who wishes to come in, although there's usually like a vetting process of like, don't bring me a fight over a chicken. Like, there are people for that. I will do this if I really have to, but don't bring me literal bullshit fights. So there's in the back portion of the palace, there's, you know, Yamin's quarters, the children's quarters, and there's Nusair's quarters, which has a private performance venue attached because, you know, he is the Shah. He rebuilt it when you became the artist in residence to fit your acoustics and augment your voice perfectly. It is him by himself tonight. Well, and his bodyguard. A halfling of some renown. One of those everyone would mock, you know, there's that old line of you only mock the Shah with an elf, with a halfling bodyguard once, and otherwise you end up with, you know, a bleeding femoral artery, and don't block him ever again. But the bodyguard nods at you and just kind of slides away. Heinrich is a man of few words.
I mean, as the position has, they are there for guarding, not necessarily for advisement or opinion.
The Shah is lounged with his long dark hair is kind of unbound. He's wearing white with gold and turquoise embroidery around it. Very casual outfit as he lounges on a low cushioned couch with big huge rolled pillows that go around the outside. Facing the performance venue, he smiles at you and nods as you come in. And the music starts to play as you walk up. Roll me a performance.
Is this the venue with there's the musicians and the arcanists right here, or is this alone?
No, this is the private venue.
Is it just us?
Yes.
Then it is the backup. Something lower cut. a little more salacious.
Just a touch.
Same color, same colors. I need to. This is an excellent time for me to draw dresses. So next time we will be set. There will be dresses.
There will be dresses.
That will be drawn.
I
There will be dresses that will be drawn.
I want you to understand and follow Lynn on Twitter for all of the art of the dresses of Fio.
I gathered like a several hundred-page Pinterest board of things.
Join
for
me.
this thing.
Join me on the dark side.
Oh, I have
too many
I have,
Pinterests.
I have too many. I have other people's Pinterest also, just through the.
That's fair. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Could you roll me a performance?
Yes.
You get advantage because of, well, it's a private performance.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah! Look at that.
32.
32.
Yeah. Uh-huh. There you go. Roll this. Then that's not even a nat 20. Roll a 16 on the die. Wow, bards. He is enthralled, and it is a beautiful performance.
You know what I'm doing with this also?
What?
What is the Shah's chosen instrument of music?
Ooh, hold on.
Because I've known him for a while, and he wasn't always the Shah.
No, he was a prince.
Mm-hmm. He's
Tenerife.
allowed for things.
Yes, and he was a bard.
Mhm.
Technically,
Why?
he still is.
Mhm. Oh, you never stop, but you know, the talent is good for.
It's a what's the word? Sorry, I have to look it up. Because I wrote it down. It is Azukra.
Oh.
Because I found this was so cool. Azukra is a double chanter terminating with 2 cow horns.
Mhm.
It is a Libyan double-horned bagpipe thing.
Yeah, and I think after that first performance, she's gonna take that out and just hold it. It's been a while, so I figured there are not enough times where we get to play together. You being all busy and all being the Shah, so.
All right. I'm not going to get any opportunity to perform anytime soon. Apparently, we're going to the room.
You know, it's a loss of the world that you don't play as much. You are so good at it.
All right, we will play together. And he is going to actually, you know what? I will have him roll to perform. See how well he's doing since he hasn't performed in a while.
I would hate for those. I really would not want him to get rusty. It's such a talent. Oh.
Wave rolls a 34. He's really good.
Oh. Yes.
It is a beautiful night of music. Mm-hmm.
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 You know what? How long is this performance time supposed to be? This appointment?
Officially?
Officially.
A couple hours.
After that first thing, she is going to. You didn't think that was the only thing I had, right?
Of course.
Surprise?
Of course not.
She'll take out. she'll take out the instrument that she was given. The what was it? I have such a hard time with the word of this thing. The
Comanche, I think is how it's
Comanche.
pronounced.
Yeah.
But Comanche, don't swear to it. It's in Turkish.
It's a stringed instrument but it was given to her quite a few times, a little while, years ago, before she became the artist in residence. Loves this thing.
Beautiful instrument. Almost as beautiful as you.
Like I said, way with words, but you'll need it for. And she'll play. She'll take the bow and pull along the strings, and a magical door will appear on the wall. Still have a few hours left.
After you, my dog.
Always a gentleman.
Except when I'm not.
And I expect you not.
And as the door closes on this private venue, we fade away from Tenerique until we find out what happens, well, when everyone gets to go to Visava for a coronation. But that's...
can I
yes.
do one more thing?
Of course.
This would be a little slightly retcon for when I got the invitation. So after I sent my sister,
yeah,
she's gonna send another sending.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be this.
It'll be to whom?
Tib.
Oh, to Nasser?
No, to Tib.
To Agnar or Alexander?
Oh, Tibian.
Oh, to Tibian. Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Tib.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it went to Tibian. Oh, it'll go to Tibian. Oh, that'll be very useful.
Yes.
Tibian's next week.
Yeah.
Well, we know where we're starting next week. Sorry, I couldn't hear for a moment. But how are we doing? How are we feeling? Did we have fun tonight?
Yes. Oh, of course. Oh my. This was so much fun.
I liked that we got to see a little bit of who Fio is.
God.
And all of what's going to happen, and I can't wait for the drama. I need you to write.
God, oh.
And
the session 0 was just like there's party energy is gonna be real wild. I will say that. Just I was expecting some way more than I thought.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But everyone, this is the end of our first set of character introductions for A Song of Agapia's Fortune. I will do all of my spiel at the end. We'll let Lynn tell us where we can find you, share, all that good stuff, and, feel free to drop any links in chat that you want. Also, spoiler alert, go follow Lynn and look at all of her art because it's gorgeous.
Hey everyone, I am Lynn, Gremlin Art, pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, where you can catch all the art that I do and what I'm doing, what streams I'm on during the week. And next time you'll probably see me is on Monday on Girls Run These Worlds for a Clause of Kuzfena, where I get to play a Kalishtar Cleric, which is, God, the polar opposite of Fio, honestly. It's
you said
sweet.
Cleric, and
yes. She is extremely a cleric, but she starts fights with champions, title big bads for no reason. So there's also that. And on Saturdays you can catch me on Wander DM for Sign Birth New Gods, where I get to play a Kitsune Godling, and we're gonna have a fight, and my character just cannot fight. I'm gonna throw rice at them. That's honestly what I'm gonna do.
I mean, if you do it in the right place, throwing rice at them will summon the most evil thing in the world. City chicken.
Oh,
Look, there are many things I will fight. A flock of pigeons ain't one of them.
no, never.
Um,
Wily animals.
but that is all of the good things. Go follow Lynn on if you see all of her links, all the good stuff. As for me, go. Okay. As for me, I am your friendly neighborhood Prax at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter or Praxgorth as Miaphoria. You see me around here on Twitch. Thank you all for being here tonight for our premiere. Thank you all over on YouTube. I appreciate you. If you're here and you're new and you didn't know this, we have a YouTube. All of the VODs will go up there in the couple days after they air here. And we have all of them. They'll be up there in very nice organized playlists. But we will be back on Wednesday with the episode. Oh no, we will not be back on Wednesday. We'll skipping this week because people are going to Gen Con. But the following Wednesday, or so a week from today, we will be back with the second set of our two new other characters for A Song of Agapia's Fire. With will be PB Plays Inside and Chris Geary, and we'll introduce their two characters. And then the following Wednesday, so 2 weeks from, a week from this Wednesday, we'll be back with the next episode of The Long Retreat, our Zweihander campaign, where my dwarf artillerist has basically come to the conclusion that all people in holy people in robes are creepy and not to be trusted, except for Gisela. She's okay. Everyone else we shoot in the face and then burn. Because it's a fair and valid issue. But other than that, check my Twitter because I was posting where I'm going to be, and there's some things that might be coming out announced in the near future in the next little bit. Also, if you're going to Gen Con, I'm going to do a shout out for Simon, because if you're going to Gen Con, go follow Simon, because I think they're at the Renegade booth, and they're going to have the actual physical copies, a physical copy of the Vampire Masquerade chapters. And I got to write on that, y'all. So you need to take pictures with it and tell me about what you see and what it looks like. It's a 35-pound board game. It's huge. But check that out. But also check out my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, and the fun, wonderful, fabulous folks like both of the people who came to join me tonight and everyone else who will be here on this channel. And until next time, everybody, we should send some love out into the universe, and share some, positive vibes. Oh, and the High Shelf Collective is up, so we should send some love their way, and I think that is where we'll go. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.